I think one of the most effective ways to protect people is to use the available tools to prevent criminals and people who might harm the citizens of Rhode Island from getting guns, from being able to access guns in our gun shops. And one of the most effective tools is the National Criminal Database. It's called NICS, NICS, National Instant Criminal Database System. The federal government does not require states to report names to the National Criminal Database, but we all should. 8 years ago when I was elected, I read an article that said that Rhode Island was not reporting any names to NICS, none. And at that time, I wrote to the Attorney General and asked him why not. I got a snarky reply back. So I went to our House leadership, we convened a commission, and the commission devised a process for the state to start reporting names to the National Instant Criminal Database. When the Parkland tragedy happened, the shooting happened, I thought I ought to check, is Rhode Island doing all we can to keep people safe in Rhode Island? I had my staff call the Attorney General's office, and that was on March 5th, and they talked to the Bureau of Criminal Investigation here in Rhode Island. They talked to not just one, but several individuals in that office. And they were told that to give us a number of the number of people they had reported over the last 8 years to the criminal database was classified. They would not give us a number. It's preposterous to think that a number is classified. We followed up and said, listen, we're not looking for personal identification. We don't want people's names. We don't know what they've been convicted of. We just want to know how many you have reported. We were stonewalled. So I sent a FOIA request to the FBI. I have it here, dated on April 23rd, and it said, in response to our request, they were unable to locate records, any records, that said that Rhode Island was reporting the name of criminals to our National Criminal Database. That's unacceptable. It is one of our most effective tools to keep people in Rhode Island safe. When someone goes into a gun shop, the store owner takes their name and runs it through the National Criminal Database. If it's there, people cannot buy a gun. We're not doing it for Rhode Island. So we're affecting the safety of people in Rhode Island by not reporting names to that National Criminal Database. We are also harming the safety of people across the United States, because people could move from Rhode Island, go to another state, and they wouldn't be in that database. I understand that the Attorney General has now replied with another snarky press release. This is my reply to that. Why didn't you just answer the question? He is our Chief Law Enforcement Officer, and I am entitled, in fact, the people of this state are entitled to know that he is reporting names and how many he is reporting. We're entitled to that information, not to be stonewalled, not to be unaware of what he is doing to keep us safe. So either he's not doing it, or he doesn't think that he has to answer to the people of Rhode Island, that he doesn't have to follow any transparency or accountability, which somehow is endemic of Rhode Island government today. We're entitled to the information. A simple answer would have been sufficient. I shouldn't have to go to the federal government and file a FOIA request. Our Attorney General should be telling us this stuff and assuring us that he is following the law and he is doing all in his power to keep us safe. And if he's not, it is hypocritical that he can find a voice and a way to testify and send documents to the House Judiciary Committee trying to take take guns away from lawful, law-abiding gun owners, but not keep them out of the hands of criminals. And that's it.
I also would like to just say that I do think it's hypocritical. We have many people from the Second Amendment community across this state who are upset about their rights possibly being infringed upon. And yet, these elected officials that are higher up are not doing their job. They're so quick to infringe on other people's rights, but they don't want to do their job. The public needs to know about this. Those elected officials need to be transparent. You have the governor over here doing things to take away people's gun rights, or organizing groups, I'm hearing, and yet doesn't want to be transparent. So willing to infringe on people's rights, but not do the necessary paperwork and send you the numbers. It's not right at all. I do not agree with that. I think the public should know about it. They are not being transparent. This is completely wrong. They should do something about this and follow the proper procedures before they just go along and infringe on someone's rights.
Just answer the question.
In their response, they were saying that you had a fundamental lack of understanding of the system, of the NICS system. What would your response be to that?
We called them, we asked them. Obviously, they are the experts here. I'm an elected official, right? I'm a financial advisor. We called, we asked. If I had a fundamental lack of knowledge, be transparent. Talk to us about it. It's an answer to a question. How many people have you reported over the last 8 years to the National Instant Criminal Database? Don't tell me it's classified. I'm looking for a number. That's all we were looking for. This Attorney General is not above the law, and he is not above transparency and accountability to the people of this state. We have a right to know this information. If they know it, they should tell us. They shouldn't be hiding it. They said it was classified. It's preposterous.
That's correct. The people have the right to know. Why don't the people, as the citizens of this state, have a right to know? The government is supposed to be run by the citizens, not by the government. We are supposed to tell them what to do. It's time to put them back in their proper places. We need to demand answers from these elected officials. Like I said, they're not here to lord over us. They're here to give us the answers that we are seeking. So,
I'm confused.
Okay.
I was at the first meeting of the Governor's Gun Safety Working Group, and Adi, her legal counsel, was sort of leading the group, and she gave a number to the 43 people sitting at the table, which was 458. I'm going to tell you what I think the number is, but I'm not going to swear to it. These are just my handwritten notes. But it was 38 minutes into my tape, I can tell you that. But it was number of people prohibited from getting a gun as a result of what was adopted by the task force in 2013 after Sandy Hook, adopted by this legislature in 2014 because they had been in some way or another involuntarily committed or the mentally ill. So there is a number of people prohibited from getting a gun as a result of the actions of that task force. I don't know whether this also includes criminals or not, but did they give you any numbers that would match the 458?
They gave us no numbers. They said the numbers were classified.
Okay.
And that brings out another point. How can it be classified if they're talking about it in public? Right, these are experts. I'm more than willing to say we went to the experts. We asked the experts to give us the information. They stonewalled us.
So, two different issues. One is, are they not reporting? And we don't know, you're saying you don't know, you have no evidence.
We have a letter from the FBI that they're not.
They're not reporting, or they're not the entity that has the data. I mean, did the FBI letter say no, Rhode Island is not reporting any names?
We were unable to locate records responsive to your request.
Okay.
Our request was, how many records has Rhode Island, of criminals has Rhode Island reported to the NICS system?
So
They were able to find no
Okay.
records.
So they found no records. but you don't know for sure that they're not reporting, you just want to know, why can't somebody tell you? But then
Why
it
can't,
becomes, yeah.
why can't the Attorney General's office be open with the people of Rhode Island? I mean, I'm an elected official. I call over there. I am more than willing to say I'm not an expert in the NICS system. Absolutely. But we called the office that is, and they stonewalled us. That's not acceptable. It's just not acceptable.
And not only that, how can they truly say that they want to keep the citizens of this state safe, yet they're just not following proper procedure? They're skipping over the proper procedure, the so-called proper procedure, and just going straight to trying to eliminate people's gun rights. There's something's not right with that. So
They have plenty of time to answer questions about taking guns away from law-abiding gun owners. But they don't have time to answer my question. It's hypocritical.